Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Salty Beans channel. I'm Stacy.
I'm Meg. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas! And seeing as it is Christmas, we decided to do a Christmas movie that Meg loves and I maybe don't.
But you can't judge because you haven't seen it in a couple years.
Yes, exactly. So I'm hoping this is going to be like a repeat of Brave and that I end up actually do liking it. So I hope I do like this movie. I just remember it being boring. And
But Stacy, what is the title of this movie?
oh right. Well, if you can't read, we are watching. That's mean. So we are watching Polar Express.
It is a childhood favorite Christmas movie of mine and a disliked one among many. And that mostly comes from the type of animation it has. Tell me, Stacy, what type of animation does this movie have?
CGI?
No.
Motion capture?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's. Oh, I see what you mean. I got it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yes. And while motion capture in itself is not out of fashion because it is used in still many AAA video games, some of the more recent ones being the ones from the Dark Anthology series, such as Little Hope and Man of Medan, which was made by the same people who did Until Dawn, and the very popular and very beloved by the two of us, the Detroit Become Human,
Mhm.
which if you guys could never figure out what shirts our cartoon icons were wearing during the commentary part of the video, uh, they're Detroit Become Human shirts.
Yeah, I remember making those during our Detroit phase. So,
Yeah, we had that in the middle of summer. But in terms of movies, it has gone out of fashion because Disney had Disney used to make or a couple of different a good uh, a few of motion capture of these motion capture animation based films. And the last one they ever made was Mars Needs Moms, and that movie bombed so bad that it just completely destroyed that type of filmmaking. Motion capture is still used in live action films, especially specifically movies like Avatar and the Marvel movies. But other than that, it's there are no strictly based motion capture films made anymore. We might cover Mars Needs Moms at some point, though, but today we are doing this one, which I think is probably the most popular out of all of them.
I do know that Tom Hanks is in this, and he's like 8 different characters, like 7 or 8
It's
different characters.
it's four, five specific. He's well, four-ish. Or I guess five-ish I should say, because one of the roles is like he plays like a narrator, not a specific character. Um, but yeah, it's we'll talk about it a little bit more, but it when we watch the film, but it is. I mean, typically when filmmakers just make the active decision to use one actor in a variety of the roles, it is a filmmaking trick, I guess is the best way to do it, to question the believability of the film, basically saying that it makes you think that this might be because this is the point of view of a specific character, it makes you think that the character is maybe imagining it. So again, we'll talk more about that when we watch the film, but that's usually why like films do that at times, and I imagine this one is no different. I know this movie I know this movie still gets a bad rap to this day because a lot of people hand not handle can't deal with the motion capture animation. It a lot of people feel like it's too uncanny valley, And I can understand that to an extent. It's never ever bothered me personally. And frankly, I think this movie's animation is better than most modern video games, and we'll talk about that as well. Um, but I just personally, I think it's just the story for me and the feel. Like the movie feels like a Christmas movie, and it's aesthetically pleasing in that kind of way. Like it's not super heavy on its story. And that's what I want whenever I watch like a Christmas movie. Just to have an essence of Christmas in it and like just kind of whimsicalness, I guess is the best way to do it. Because I mean, Christmas is just a very whimsical holiday. But this movie I feel like kind of gets that spirit down.
I like Christmas.
I never accused
No,
you of
I
not
know.
liking
It's my way of agreeing without remembering the movie. And if you would like to watch along with us, you can over at Patreon, where there will be a full-length version and a link will be in the description. That will take you directly to it.
The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh.
Baby PETA.
Is that Josh Hutcherson?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
But he said Santa would have to fly faster than the speed of light to get to everyone's house in one night.
So?
And to hold everyone's presents, his sled would have to be bigger than an ocean liner.
Well, your brother said that? Well, he was just kidding you. He knows there's a Santa.
He said he wasn't sure.
Let's talk about this. So we talked about this while watching Beauty and the Beast and Enchanted Christmas as well, and I basically complained about it. But these type of Christmas stories, they're so common. The whole X character doesn't believe in Santa or Christmas or whatever, and they have to learn to believe in it by the end of the movie. This movie, I think does it. I'm gonna be controversial and say I think it does it better than Christmas Carol. I mean, Scrooge was just like an asshole about it. Just the whole like Christmas stuff is like meh, bah humbug, Christmas doesn't exist or whatever. This character hasn't really had a definitive line of dialogue yet, and you've already gotten the fact that he doesn't believe in Santa anymore like he used to. He's very skeptical. He has all these articles about like, fake Santa reveals, and then he's reading a book about the Arctic, about like how nothing lives there. And then of course you have the parents talking and the sister saying that like my brother said that, Santa isn't real. So you get the idea that this character does not believe in Santa and he hasn't even said anything yet. And that's really good story execution. And we're only what, like 2-3 minutes into the movie and you just get it immediately.
Mhm.
And I also like the fact that it's not a grown ass elderly adult. This is a kid. Like this is a kid probably around the age of like 11 or 12. So around the time where most people would either still believe in Santa or grow out of it.
Yeah, I like that they picked that age range. I think most Christmas movies that are about trying to find the magic in something or to believe in something again, it's usually adults. Like it's the kids trying to get the adults to believe, not the other way around.
Is this you?
Yeah.
Well, it says here, no photo with the department store Santa this year. No letter to Santa. And you made your sister put up the milk and cookies. Mm-mm.
Maybe I'm just desensitized, but this motion capture doesn't bother me. It looks fine. It looks actually better than it looks better than Little Hope and Man of Medan. I said it, and I will die on that hill, because I haven't finished Little Hope, but I have seen the entirety of Man of Medan. But I have seen most of Little Hope. Little Hope came out this year. It literally came out a month ago. I think this looks so much better. Their characters, they're expressive. You can tell what they're feeling. In Little Hope, everyone is so stiff and has a stale-faced emotion half of the time.
Yeah, for this, a couple of times it's been a little uncanny for me, but not to the point of Little Hope where it all looks unsettling.
Are we really going to the North Pole?
Hey, look at me.
Oh yeah, BTW. None of these characters have names, so we're gonna have to make up names for them.
Okay. Well, he can be Josh, right?
She looks like an Angela.
He looks like a Kenneth or a
Just call him Ken.
Ken. Okay.
He's gonna throw her off the train. Yeah, he's gonna probably throw her right off the rear platform.
Shut up, Ken. God. Puppies! Oh, they're so fluffy!
They're
What good boys!
Oh my god.
I love dogs, if you can't tell.
Okay, so I want to talk about the Tom Hanks thing for a little bit of a second. So this character and the conductor are both played by Tom Hanks, and his dad was also played by Tom Hanks. But the point is that the hillbilly character and the conductor character being played by the same actor, I think it's to showcase Joss's perspective in basically much like how in Christmas Carol there were the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. These are kind of those people to Josh. So you have one spirit who believes in Christmas undoubtedly, and you have and you have another spirit who is trying to feed into his skeptical nature of it. And it's basically a his conflict personified, if I may. It's trying to showcase through physical representations of his wanting to believe in Christmas and Santa, and his skeptical nature of the fact, and a skeptical kind of like adult nature, the fact that like Santa and Christmas is just made believe. And I think that's what they're trying to get across with it. So yeah.
Looked like a frozen lake, but I know it was just an optical illusion caused by moonlight and atmosphere. He said the train was actually on the ice, but I said that was impossible because you can't put a train track. Hey, where are you going now?
Shut up!
Give me your other hand. Give me your other hand.
I can't.
On three. 1, 2, 3. Look!
It's still.
Is that
Naughty.
the little bitch? Oh my
To the
god!
game.
You! What are you doing here? Same as you. I'm checking on my Christmas presents. I want to make sure I'm getting everything on my list.
Oh, shut up! Ken! Ah!
Better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Notice you can't hear the bells.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really interesting because he's shouting, "I can't see him," which he does mean literally because like he physically can't see him right now. But there is but as the bells are ringing and he can't hear the bells, there is an underlying sense of like I can't see him because I don't believe in him.
Oh. Just got it. It's because he doesn't believe. It's because he can't see him.
Well, thank you.
Me. Pick me, Santa.
Go away! Go
this
away!
this amazing emotional moment that shows Josh's character growth. Suddenly, me.
Well, see ya. See ya.
You fight good. Immediate vibes that scene gives me.
I really liked it. Way better than what I remembered liking it as. I felt so invested. Like it's a good movie and it's fun and it's emotional and like it really feels like a Christmas spirited movie in physical form or a physical form. I was really attached to Billy the whole time, and I get narratively it should be Josh who gets the first present because he didn't believe and now he believes. Yeah. I appreciate that they threw the line in there of like sometimes making friends along the way is the best present or however it was phrased. I mean, even in the credits, he's credited as Lonely Boy, not as Billy or as his name. So he's definitely a lonely kid. And I imagine that his parents aren't around too much because he's learned to rely on himself. Based on what the ticket said, it's rely on and count on to count on others that he probably doesn't really know how to do until he meets Angela and Josh um, and he's able to learn that sometimes Christmas, not just Christmas, but it's a Christmas movie, that sometimes you can count on Christmas and you can count on others, and that he's able to learn and he can grow and he's able to just like be happy again. The poor kid. I really
Oh my
like
God.
Billy.
I think there's a lot to love about this movie. Again, I honestly think this movie just gets a bad rap because of the sometimes and uncanny valley nature of it. But even then, I still don't think it's that uncanny. It's just I get that it has its moments, but I seriously do not think it's anywhere near the uncanny valley level of like some video games that have come out recently. So this is my opinion, right? I think if this movie had a more Disney stylized animation, you would not hear people saying that they didn't like it. Because this story, the script, and the way it goes about it just it does it in such a very beautiful and simplistic way that I think tops it over most Christmas movies. Most Christmas movies, and again, we talked about this when we did Beauty and the Beast Enchanted Christmas. It's so in your face. Love Christmas. You have to love Christmas. you can't you you can't not love Christmas, you know. It's a very forceful type of feeling that a lot of these movies go on. And I don't like that. You know, you should love Christmas genuinely because of the feeling it emotes. And that's what this movie is. It's trying to emote a feeling in you. And the feeling of loving Christmas in a different way. The feeling of you can appreciate and love Christmas um, with and believe in it, but it doesn't necessarily need to be shoved down your throat either. And that is something that I just think this movie does so well. It also is just so well in executing it. Like I said, in like the first couple of minutes of this movie, you understand from the word go that the main lead, that Josh, does not believe in Christmas. But you understand as well that Angela, the durotagonist, his co-star, um, does believe in Christmas. So they have this back and forth dynamic, but at the same time, you're getting a similar dynamic between him and the conductor and him and the hillbilly. So he has basically everything around him is just this it's very much a personification of his own state of belief. He's constantly going back and forth of wanting to believe in Christmas and wanting to believe in Santa, but his skeptical logical side can't help but question the logistics of it. Everything around him is either telling him that Christmas is real, just believe in it, or Christmas is fake, why bother selling into it? And he doesn't know which side to choose, and he has to make that choice at the end. Is he going to believe or is he not? And it's when he realizes that he's missing out on the spirit of things. And again, even then, the movie is saying at the end of the day that the real spirit of Christmas is not just believing in Santa or believing at all, it's believing in the reliability of others, the friendship, the friends we made along the way, if I may. But it's true, and that's how it goes, and that's why this movie is so never breaks from Josh's perspective, and nor should it. Because that's what makes it such a great movie to begin with. Again, I'll be on my controversial soapbox and say that this movie is, I think, better than bookend movie, but I just genuinely think it's better than Christmas Carol because it's so not in your face about it. I've never really been that big of a Christmas Carol fan to begin with, but Christmas Carol is so in your face about like this guy is so negative and everything. But the truth is that people who just aren't in the Christmas spirit are not like Scrooge. They're more like Josh in a way where they're just on the skeptical side of things and don't really care for it. Not in the sense of like, I'm gonna be so selfish and only care about my money and bah humbug. It's like it's not realistic. Of most people, most people can relate to Josh. Most people can't relate to Scrooge.
Yeah, Christmas Carol is definitely more on the extreme of I don't believe in Christmas. And then, like you said, with Josh, mostly just kind of like everybody else. So yeah, I can take it or leave it. I sure, why not, kind of thing. What I really appreciate about Josh from the beginning is he's trying to look for like proof to believe in Christmas and not Christmas, but to believe in Santa and the magical spirit of Christmas. But he doesn't give up on that. Like it's what the conductor said. It doesn't matter where the train takes you. It matters if you get on. So he doesn't stop trying to find the proof for him. He still tries. He still got on the train. He's listening to different opinions from Angela and with what Billy said. He's hearing all these different sides and he's still deciding and he's still trying. He doesn't give up and even though well, he did get the bell. Like even if when he did lose the bell, he's sad about losing it, but the bell is representing the memory that he's taking from the whole experience. Like the bell is a cool thing to have, and I think when he asked Santa, "I want the bell for Christmas," it's I want to remember this. Like not just I want the bell. I want to remember this, and I want to still believe for the rest of my life. And that's so touching. What a cool way to bring in the bell and to have a kid who grows up and still believes and can still hear it. So I don't think I know any adult who really believes in Santa still. If they do, they haven't told me or I haven't asked. But like I think that's a rare thing too for adults to continue to believe in Santa and the magic of Christmas.
No, yeah, for sure. It really is just kind of like a very touching message, and I think, even though the movie is conveying a message of the fact that he still believes in Santa and stuff, I think it also is a message about growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. No one asks you to ever to stop believing in the spirit of Christmas when you're an adult. And I think that's an important message, you know. I think it's important for you to still believe in those things when you grow older because I think there's a uplifting message about those type of things, Like I think growing up believing in some sort of magic that Christmas has, I think it's okay in a way, and in a way I think it's encouraged. There's nothing wrong with still having a bit of childlike wonder attached to you, even when you're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old.
Freaking Ken. I have never felt so irritated by a character. Like
That's
he
saying, no, I don't know about that. We did just watch Shark Tale a couple weeks ago.
but it that was a movie as a whole that irritated me, and like each individual piece just formulated in like an irritated circle. But with Ken, he's like the individual, he's like the embodiment of Shark Tale, right? In one character. That's my thing. Like Shark Tale is spread out like, for an hour and a half. Ken is in here for a total of 10 minutes, maybe. And I was irritated every minute. Ugh, he just opens his mouth, and I just want to go, stop talking. Don't say it. Leave it.
Oh my god.
But he
Yeah, I've never liked him. Yeah, every time I watch this movie, he's the factor I always look forward to rewatching the least. I've known boys like him in my life, and let me tell you, they're just as irritating. Those know-it-all kids who think they know better than everyone else and think they deserve more because they know better than everyone else.
and there's this heart-touching, warm scene of Santa talking to Josh, and then all of a sudden Ken cuts in and it just ruins it.
So, for our next movie, we will be having a special guest with us, and this is a movie that I love to bits and pieces. It's another favorite of mine, so we're doing good movies again because we need to cleanse our palate because we watched too many bad movies in a row. um, and yeah, this one will be stylistically similar to another movie we did. I won't say which one. Um, but it is a very fun movie.
Th- I know I've seen the movie. I don't remember much of it. And I know my teacher talked about this movie a lot. He just raved about it. I
In a good way or a bad way?
in a good way. I get
Uh-huh.
why. I just don't remember why kind of thing. It's hard to say what my teacher was talking about without talking about it.
Well, hopefully watching it will trigger your memory.
Yeah, probably. And I would also like to say there is a headcanon about a character that is asexual.
And we stand this headcanon so much.
So much. I love it. I love this headcanon.
I love this
It
headcanon
fits so
too.
well.
It does.
And again, if you would like to watch Polar Express with us, you can. There will be a link in the description for Patreon for full length. And we will see you in the next movie. Bye.
Bye and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.